everybody, I'm Colin McAllister and I'm really happy to be here today. Just want to give a very quick little lesson on something that I call improvising with rhythmic dissonance. So this idea of dissonance, it's similar to the idea of dissonance in terms of tonality. You know, I think as guitarists we're always talking about if we're playing over a certain chord, let's say a G minor 7. There are certain notes that are in the chord and certain notes that are outside of the chord. And those notes outside are what we think of as dissonance. So maybe if I play a lick, I might think about balancing some of those ideas of dissonance. That kind of thing. So rhythmic dissonance is a similar kind of principle, whereas let's say I'm playing over a progression. It's very much in 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as guitarists, we tend to play things that are primarily concentrated around 8th notes, 16th notes, quarter notes. But what if we were to float some different rhythms over these? What I mean is, let's say I want to play 3 notes over the space of 2. So here's my quarter note pulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe I'll play 3 over that. 3 over 2 would be something like da 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 da. So again, here's my basic rhythm. And maybe I'll play or something like 5 over 2. So that gives me, again, what I'm doing is I'm just floating these notes sort of over the gaps in between what's normally there. It creates a really cool sort of sound. So if I'm here with my 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, might be something like. So there was 5 in the space of 2. Another example that I get a lot of mileage out with some of these cross rhythms is, let's say I'm playing something in 3, sort of a jazz waltz feel. Oh, I don't know, something maybe like. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I want to play 4 over that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So. And I think this idea of thinking about using these cross rhythms gives you a nice way to explore your improvising without having to always think about what we as guitarists typically think about, that is, which note to play. So I encourage you to play with these ideas and think about, well, not just which note to play, but maybe taking the same notes and spacing them differently to give your solos a little extra life. So I've got Brian here. Thanks for being here, Brian. Just to show some of these principles in action here. So let's start off with just this little jam that we did earlier from Green Street, and I'm going to just talk about playing some different cross rhythms against that jam. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now I'm going to think of playing 3 over the space of 2. I'm going to sing that rhythm first. Here's my 2. Ta 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 ta. And here's a lick. Cool, we're going to keep that going. Now I'm going to try a little harder one. This is 5 in the space of 2. So here's my 2, sing it. 2. Da da dee da 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 dee da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here's a lick. I'm going to mix these up a little bit so you can hear. So again, you don't want to use these consistently because then it starts to sound like an exercise. But if you can mix these things in a little bit, it just gives a little different aspect to your playing. Let's try one more, Brian. Let's just do a little, I like to do this sometimes in a jazz waltz context, so maybe I'll play something like this. So here I'm in 3. You can play 4 over this. That 4 rhythm against this 3, and again, putting these notes in the gaps just gives you, I think, a sense of more space sometimes in your soloing. So I encourage you to play around with these. Thank you, Brian.
Absolutely.